We live. Turn up. All right. So I haven't did a video on YouTube in a minute, a few months. Trying to make stuff perfect, trying to do this, trying to do that. That ain't gonna work. So I think my problem was that most of my videos was coming off as an hour. And I did 2 videos, both of the videos was over an hour. So I had to slow down a little bit and say, I'm gonna start doing videos for 10 minutes. I'm gonna try to break it down in 10 or 15 minutes. And this is new to me. Like spirituality is new to me. Consciousness is new to me. So you can overdo stuff. A lot of people have time in this, you know? And for example, you got some people who've been spiritual for 15 years. You got some people who've been conscious for an extremely long time. I'm about 2.5 years into this. So I got to find a way to work my magic. But with that being said, today's video, the topic of today's video is going to be the magical purposes of sexual fluids. The magical purposes of sexual fluids. Now, what I mean by the magical purpose of sexual fluids is I want to try to get in depth, and I want to try to do this fast. I want to talk about what's really happening. What are the terms? What's really going on with the body? Because here in the Western culture, we're just starting to deal with, we're just starting to deal with real scholarship on sex in the Western culture. That was a time when we knew nothing about this stuff. This stuff was rare to us. We heard about sex magic. We say, oh, that's for the devil worshipers. That's for the people who follow Satan. So we would hear all of these things about sex, all this different stuff about what was taking place. Sex to us was basically taboo. There was a time when they told us that you can't have sex until you get married. I believed in that. I was a hardcore Christian. I'm a Christian occultist now. You know, I ain't got nothing against the Bible. I have nothing against Christianity, Islam, and none of the groups, none of the religions, but I deal with occultism. I'm open. I study everything in the world. We the gods. The Bible calls us, the ancient scriptures calls us little gods. We gods in these human bodies. We set the rules. We live based upon, I'm getting off the topic, we live based upon universal rules and universal laws. The universal laws were set up for the gods. The universal laws were set up for me. The universal laws was set up for you. Huh? We don't live by the laws of man. The laws of the Bible, the laws of man, all of those laws were set up to govern the other species down here, to govern the Tamahu, to govern the species who don't have souls. They was doing too much. They was getting out of line. I'm getting off the topic of the video. I'm gonna get back on it. They was getting out of line. So what really happened, we had to go get the Bibles and the different books and different things and set up laws to keep them in line. There's no laws for me or you. Ashe. So let's get into the topic of this thing. You can, if you question where I'm getting this information from, you can see the books in the background. I got Tantra, The Art of Conscious Loving. Some of the information can be found in this book. The Sexual Teachings of the White Tigress. Some of what I'm talking about can be found in this book. Ecstasy Through Tantra. We getting scholarship. I know a lot of the new generation ain't getting scholarship. They just want to flow off the top. But look, you can come tell me what you want to tell me. What I really want to know is where you getting this information from. I'm getting information. I'm getting scholarship. I'm getting stuff that was set up way before me. And I want to bring that to the people. Everybody ain't got time to go read all these sex books. But I do. So Ecstasy Through Tantra. One of the best ones out there. You can also go get one of the best books out there. Modern Sex Magic, The Secrets of Erotic Spirituality by Donald Michael Craig. You know, this one of the top 5 sex books out there, Tantra books out there. We're dealing today with Tantra and Taoism, okay? Also, you can go and get the book, The Tale of Love and Sex. It's an immaculate book. So what I'm about to talk to you is coming from the ancient people. It's not just some stuff I'm just spitting from my mouth. We're dealing with scholarship. Shout out to the master teacher, Bobby Henry. Dr. Clark, the old masters. Dr. Dilbert Blair. I want to say those three names. Dr. Dilbert Blair, Dr. Clark, Bobby Hemming. That's who I'm coming under. They used to have scholarship. They will show you where you can give you references. They weren't just talking about stuff. I'm gonna freestyle in between giving you this. But let's keep going. We also got holistic sexuality, the practical guide to sexual healing. So I'm not just giving you some stuff that I'm giving you scholarship tonight. I'm almost done with the books. Tantric Secrets for Men. Giving you scholarship tonight. Tantra, The Way of Action. Francis King, a must-have. Tantra, The Way of Action. And also The Heart of Tantric Sex. So we're dealing with scholarship and we are rocking and rolling. Let me see if I can adjust that light. I guess it's good. I'm going to get the light feature next time I rock and roll. So let's get into this small lecture. What we're dealing with now is, so most of what we know about sex, okay, me and you, your parents, your grandparents, most of what we know about sex comes from movies, magazines, friends, and parents. See, we're not going to go and get the books. We're not going to go and deal with scholarship. We don't learn about sex from the information that was left by the Africans. We don't learn about sex by the information that was left by the Egyptians. We don't learn about sex by the information that was left by our ancestors. We go to the movies. Porn. Anybody watch porn out there? I hear you. Anybody watch porn out there? Anybody used to get the sex magazines back in the days and cut up what's going on in the magazine? Ooh, Lord, what that is? Ooh, Lord. Got the pictures in your pockets. Anybody used to have your friends and your parents tell you about sex, and most of our parents ain't know nothing? So most of what we learn about sex in this civilization comes from flawed sources. So sexually, okay, what I got to get you to understand before I get into this is that when a person is turned on, I got to get the notes. You got to read. You got to read to get notes. You can't just go running your mouth. When you look at the master teachers, they kept their notepad with them. Malcolm X, everybody kept a notepad with them. Now, I could just come off the top if I'm talking to you, but I'm not just talking to you right now. So I'm going to get these scholarships and drill this in, because this is important to get this information out, to talk about sex from a pure source and we talking about the magical purposes of sexual fluids. We're about to get into this, about saliva, about spit, about semen, about nectar, about the breast, and all the good stuff. That's what we're dealing with tonight. When a person is turned on, when I'm turned on, when you turn on, when a person is turned on, they release hormones known as endorphins into the bloodstream. Let's deal with this. Hold up, man. So when I get turned on, you get turned on. See, everybody can't turn us on. Some men can't get you wet. Some women can't get you hard. Everybody can't turn you on. When a person is turned on, they release endorphins into the bloodstream. You want this person bad. This person wants you. This stuff getting your bloodstream. You just go to turn it on. You, Lord, I'm ready. I'm ready to come get you. I'm ready to come out my clothes now. I can't take it no more. I'm ready to cut up. I need you. You need me. Let's transfer this energy. I got endorphins in my blood, baby. I can feel it. Nipples getting hard. Stuff waking up. We ready to roll. We talking about sex. We talking about tantra tonight. You got the best teacher in the building on this sex shit. Let's go. And endorphins make you do some crazy things. Do they not make you do some crazy things? Stuff you thought you never did before. You be up on the counter, your head be in the refrigerator, you be getting whooped with a whip, never had handcuffs on in your life. Endorphins make you do some things that you never thought you would do before. Let's keep going. Tonight, in this small, short video, you're going to hear some terms that you may not be familiar with. See, when I started getting into this Taoism, when I started getting into this Tantra, I was hearing words I wasn't familiar with, because the words that I wasn't familiar with, those were the words that people was using in ancient societies. What do I mean by ancient societies? The Chinese people have a pure form of this. The Hindu people have a pure form of this. The Dogons, the African people, different societies have a pure form of sex. We don't have a pure form of sex because we wasn't taught the proper way. Sex is a school. Huh? It's a mystery system. Getting ahead of myself. We talked about the person being turned on. We talked about where we got the information from: movies, magazines, friends, and parents. As I'm reading this tonight, you're going to hear words like nectar. Most of you don't even know what nectar is. To some of us, it's simple. But the cream that flows from the yoni, that cream that y'all are afraid of, that most sisters got to wear panty liners now, that you looking at yourself like, I'm too wet, I'm too charged up, what's wrong with me? It's called nectar. That's what we call it. Okay? Nectar. We're going to talk about saliva. Saliva is called jade juice. Some of you don't even know how powerful your spit is. The Chinese people didn't even spit outside because you got traces of DNA in your spit. So your spit alone is powerful, and it has sexual purposes. And we're going to deal with the spit. It's called jade juice. We're also going to deal with the elixir or immortality. Whenever you start dealing with any form of tantra, any form of sex, I say the video is going to be 10 or 15 minutes. It's 11 minutes. I'm just getting into it. Lord, I can't stop. I come from 5'8". You see what you're doing? So you got me out here? Just long-winded. Bear with me. Saliva, jade juice, the elixir of immortality. Our people dealt with the elixir of immortality. We knew how to live long. Before I get into the notes, I can break it down to you. I want you to think I'm just reading. So what really happens is there's something called the elixir of immortality. Inside of the man's semen, the sperm live on the inside of his semen. Inside of his semen is what's called generative fluids. Generative fluids keep the semen alive. Generative fluids, when a woman ingests that in higher qualities, it makes her young. It makes her live long. I know you heard the rumors about it. Generative fluids. Huh? But he got to be alkaline. You can't be out there just dealing with any type of brother. You dealing with polygamy and y'all having orgies and all this crazy stuff. Y'all living by doing whatever y'all want to do. You got to be dealing with a brother. He got to be your lover. He got to be vibrating high. That's the only way his semen is going to be regenerative fluid. Some of these men got toxic fluids. Toxic? Every time he come inside of you, your pH is disrupted. It smells. It's not right. He's smoking that strong weed. That weed too strong. He ain't smoking Reggie. He ain't growing his own stuff. He drinking too much. He ain't drinking no water. It's not regenerative fluids. It's toxic. We're going to be talking about the qing. You ain't got to call it semen. They call it qing. We're going to be talking about dragon tears. Pre-nut dragon tears is full of testosterone. That pre-nut is almost as powerful as the actual semen. Let's rock and roll. We got one page down. We doing good. I'm off the first page. Let's get to these 2 pages and we're going to end this video. Let's deal with some tantra. So, tantra, first of all, let's deal with tantra and Taoism. Taoism, however you want to pronounce it. Tantra and Taoism, let's deal with the difference between them. Tantra is a spiritual science from ancient India. Okay? Tantra is a spiritual science from ancient India. Taoism is a spiritual science. It's an ancient science from China. I prefer Taoism because it's more close to Africa, so it's more pure and it's not tainted with a lot of. As you start to study and get these books and study this stuff, you're gonna start to realize that Tantra has a little bit more. It's a little bit more free. You got a little bit more leeway with Tantra. Tantra do a little bit more things on the wild side. Men getting fingers in their butts, all the crazy stuff. Taoism, for the most part, ain't dealing with none of that because Taoism is more scientific. If it ain't scientific, if we can't back it up with scientific facts, the Taoists ain't dealing with it. Whereas when you're dealing with the people with Tantra, Tantra deals with Shakti and Shiva. The Taoism, they're going to deal with yin and yang. The Tantra deals with gods and deities. And like I just said, TOS is more scientific. I want to give you a foundation on that before I get into this. All right. So let's get into this. Sexual fluids, saliva, nectar, the breast, the three peaks, the breast, the you know what I'm talking about, in the mouth. So let's deal with this. Sex has many schools. Okay. Sex has many schools, levels, dimensions, and some of these dimensions can break you. So let's deal with that. Sex has many schools and dimensions, and some of these dimensions can break you. When you dealing with any form of sex, sex is a mystery system. When you're dealing with the ancient teachers, you hear they always say the word mystery system. Sex is a mystery system. It's a system. Some human beings, when you're dealing with a human being on a lower level, they can never get off the first dimension of sex. They can never get off the first level of sex. They can never get off the first dimension, off the first system, because they're not spiritual enough to get to these next levels. They can never have, they just dealing with sex from a physical perspective. Can't really deal with sex from a spiritual perspective because they still dealing with it from a first dimension. People who are melanated have the potential to get to the second, third, fourth, fifth dimensions of sex because we have the key. The key is the melanin. You tapped into the sun. You tapped into the universe. People who don't have melanin can't get past the first dimension. I'm trying to be good. I'm trying not to say what I really want to say. But if you know me, you know what I'm talking about. In other words, what I'm saying is that people who are melanated have the potential to get to the higher levels on any level of sex, to get to the next dimensions of it. And if you ain't melanated, if you're recessive, you can't get there. You trapped in the first dimension. And I'm gonna leave that part right there because I really want to start throwing terms out. The Tamahu, for example, the Bahinans, for example, can only have sex on the first dimension because they don't have a soul. Trying to be good, this shit slipping out. Go get the book African Orders of Biological Psychiatry. Go get the book Astral Body. Go get the book The Fall of America by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. It tells you about people who have souls and people who don't have souls. Sex was sitting for the gods, for us, for the melanated beings. We can get to the next level. That's why sometimes you can be sleeping with a person, you like, you ain't grown. Your sex still on the same level. You can't get to the next dimension. That's because you ain't got the key. You can't graduate. You can't get to the next dimension. Shall we keep going? Let's get on this. Let me get back on the topic. So sex is a mystery system. We have many mystery systems. Some of you good at sex, teaching it. Some of you good at dealing with Egyptology. Some of you good at helping people heal. It's different systems. Let's deal with sperm. Within sperm lies the essence of creation and nourishment, the very elixir of immortality. When it is released from the body, you got to get this, you got to get this, you got to get this. When it is released from the body, death grows nil. We're talking about semen, we're talking about sperm. When a man releases his sperm, death grows nil. When retained into the body and sent into his crown chakra, immortality is nil. So we was taught in the United States to release it, to release it, to release it, to release it. Women was taught that if a man don't release it, if he don't ejaculate, that he didn't really enjoy the sex. But that's false. That's false. When a man starts dealing with tantra, he learns ejaculation control. He learns that it is important for him to not release himself because that orgone energy, because that energy that is the elixir of immortality, that energy that make him, that is generative fluids. It's generative fluids. So as long as I can keep it in me, it's going to regenerate. It's going to go up into my body and going to regenerate my body and help me live long. That's why when you go back and deal with the Chinese cultures and the Asian cultures, they have a problem right now. What's their problem? Their problem is that people living too long. This man 101, this man 105. These people living too long. These people ain't dying. They ain't got nobody to work because they was taught not to release their semen. and he living long. So if this is working for Chinese and Asian people, how much more would it work for people like me and you who got the gifts? We could live forever. It says that when you release it, death grows nil. When retained in the body, you live longer and immortality is near. Semen has two ingredients. Let me break down the semen thing. I'm going to get to the nectar in a little bit. Semen has two ingredients: sperm cells, which is also called spermatozoa, and seminal fluids. So you got the seminal fluids and you got the sperm cells. Semen, according to biochemistry, not just me, I'm not just talking. Semen, according to biochemistry, is almost entirely pure protein, okay, with little amounts and little qualities of phosphorus, testosterone, calcium, and vitamin C. It also has antibiotic purposes. So the biochemist gonna tell you when they break the semen down, it's protein. It's disgusting. Leave it alone. Oh my God, what is it? It's the most. See, that's what they taught us. But when you start dealing with any form of sexual magic, you got to understand what you're dealing with. So your man, say your man alkaline, he loving on you, is you and him, nobody else. He's yours. He's yours. You know what's coming out of his body. And we're gonna get back into this. I want to try to finish this video, but that's what the biochemist said. In all, at the end of the day, semen contains many micronutrients necessary for the health of the human body. I know this sounds distasteful to some of you, this sounds awkward to some of you, but I'm telling you what I know. I'm giving you scholarship on this. Semen, at the end of the day, contains many micronutrients necessary for the health of the human body. Now let's go in right here and let's deal with this pre-ejaculation. What is this stuff that's coming out this man early? What is this liquid? What's the stuff that come out before the actual ejaculate? Tell me about that. What's going on with that? Because I need to know. Pre-ejaculation, which we black people call pre-nut, with sisters talking about getting them pregnant. Girl, it must have been pre-nut or some girl, because I got pregnant, girl. I don't know how I got pregnant, girl. It was crazy. Girl, we was doing it. He just talking about I know he pulled out, but it had to be the pre-nut. And the brothers like, man, brothers don't even acknowledge it because we don't want to get in trouble for it. Man, ain't no such thing as pre-nut. We ain't worrying about it. You leave that alone. Pre-ejaculation is filled with testosterone. So the actual semen itself has the protein, phosphorus, calcium, vitamin C, antibiotics. Your pre-ejaculation is filled with testosterone and has great magical effects on the woman. Teloids place great. We talking about the teloids. The people know about this. Teloids place great value on it. It is called dragon tears, and it's said to restore a woman's youthfulness if swallowed or ingested. Here go the women. No, Lord. Baby, we don't do that, baby. We're swallowing that in large quantities. So you got a man, you loving this man. He eating his fruits, his vitamins, his vegetables, all this good stuff. What's up, family? I see y'all. Fruits, vegetables, all this. It says that his pre-ejaculation is filled with testosterone. That's why a man can't deal with a man, because the man already produced testosterone. So when he's dealing with another man, he's consuming testosterone, so he outbalancing his body. That's why a woman have to mix with the man. We're dealing with polarities, yin and yang. Because when she received what he got, she's getting that testosterone, and testosterone make a woman strong, make her get up and make her want to work out, make her want to go to the gym, make her feel like jogging. I know I'm talking about the man. I'm gonna get to the sisters in a little bit. I just want to break this down. So when she consumes that, it brings back her youthfulness. We talking about the spiritual purposes of sexual fluids, the magical purposes of sexual fluids. When the woman consumes that, it brings back her usefulness. It's swallowed or ingested in large amounts. Now we know that when we're dealing with sex magic, that the most powerful thing in sex magic is when you mix the semen with the woman's nectar. You take the nectar and the semen and you mix them together. But you take the man's semen and you take the woman monthly blood. All the great books say that the most powerful thing that a woman can produce is when she's on her monthly. I understand this is disgusting. I can't take this. When a woman is on her blood, she take her blood and mix it with the man's semen. Now, most of you, the people are old, they ain't care. They was ingesting that shit. And not a lot. It could be a drip or some shit. But I can't see myself swallowing my own ching. I can't just do that. I'm too new school. We can't do it. A woman can't see herself. Now, women, they do all types of. You take the woman blood, you take the man's semen, and you dry it out. The Egyptians, the ancient people, would dry it out, and they will powderize it, and they will make it into a powder form, and they take a shot of it. Bing, bing. They just be flying all types of shit. That's the highest form of sex magic. It's the alchemy side of it. It's mixing the semen with the woman's blood, her monthly blood, and drying it out. I know y'all saying it's disgusting. Go get the books. This is what the ancient people talked about. The ancient people, they was here longer than me and you. They was closer to the gods. We're in our Lord selves. They knew more. Let's get back to the book. So it will bring back her youthfulness. Early male Taoists believed that blood and semen were the same. Believed that blood and semen were the same, right? They was considered as the same thing. The distillation of blood. So basically what they're saying is that the distillation of blood created the semen. It said that 49 drops of blood. This is how powerful semen is. 49 drops of blood is equal to 1 drop of semen. 49 drops of blood is equal to 1 drop of semen. Turn up. 49 drops of blood is equal to 1 drop of semen. I want to get in these books and bring this stuff out. I want to give you something that you can go back on the video and just listen to it and rethink about it. Just rethink about what I'm getting. I want to throw this information out. I put the books up early in the video. I want you to just go back and apply this to your knowledge. 49 drops of blood is equal to 1 drop of semen. Let's deal with the saliva. Let's get on the saliva. Saliva, which we call jade juice, right? Is when you refine the saliva that's in your mouth, when it's refined through cultivation, it would turn into a thick elixir. So we don't even understand how powerful our spit is because people don't talk about your spit or your saliva or your jade juice. You got 2 different types of saliva. You got the clear fluid that just come out when you spit on the ground, but then it gets white and it gets thick. Some of you women know what I'm talking about. Most men don't know what this means because we don't get to that level, but you sisters know what I'm talking about. When your spit get thick, and let's deal with it from the book perspective. Saliva is produced in the mouth and the throat through a series of salivatory glands within the mouth. Saliva has 2 functions. Okay, let's deal with this. We're making some ground up. Saliva has 2 functions: to lubricate and dissolve food. That's one. To lubricate and dissolve food. That's what the earthly people dealing with the saliva. But we won't deal with it from a sexual perspective, from a magical perspective, from a Taoist and a Tantra perspective. To dissolve and deal with food, right? And most importantly, to kill bacteria with an enzyme, called isozyme. So isozyme is the enzyme inside of saliva that literally kills bacteria. Taoists believe that when you make the thick isozyme, it will actually heal your body and your skin. So you know how sometimes you sisters be cutting up? You know how y'all be cutting up? And that thick stuff come out your mouth? Let me just go ahead and say it. I call it mouth nut. I hate to say that. Mouth nut. Not the regular spit when you just spit on the ground. You know, the mouth nut, the thick shit. Taoists believe that thick stuff, because it contains isozyme, that isozyme, which is it kills bacteria and stuff on the inside of your body. They said you can rub it all over your chest. Not a woman be cutting up and it be all on her chest and putting it all in your face. It will kill bacteria in your face and make you look young because it's full with energy, and it will detox and cleanse your whole body. Anytime you swallowing your spit and it's breaking food down, imagine what happens. Even if you get I'm getting ahead of myself, I'm getting ahead of my notes. Even if you was to get a scar on your body or a scratch on your body, say you bump yourself and you scratch your body, right? You could spit on yourself. You let your spit build up, not the clear spit, let it build up, get some of that throat knot out, some of that white stuff, and you spit it on your arm and wipe it on your arm because the bacteria, the enzyme on the inside of it is going to kill the bacteria in the wounds. So saliva has its purposes. So we know that isozym kills bacteria trapped inside of mucus on the inside of your body. So that's why sometimes when you swallow your spit, that's what gets inside of your stomach and break down all the mucus that's on the inside of your stomach. You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna go back to the books. That's what's on the inside of your stomach. Because so your saliva is actually that strong. Okay. Also, taoists go much further in their praise and application of saliva. I'm about to get nasty with this one. I gotta get it out. Taoists go much further in there. We're talking about tantra anyway. You got to deal with this shit. You got to desensitize yourself. Some of you become so sensitive you can't even talk about sex. You talk about sex and it becomes whatever. Now you got to desensitize yourself and really deal with this shit. The Taoists go much further in their praise and application of saliva in re-environment. The re-environment process means that you holding it in your mouth and you letting it build up. Okay, it becomes thick and whitish in color. Thick, that's what I'm talking about. Thick and whitish in color, appearing to have a much semen-like appearance. Semen-like appearance. So that's when you're dealing with the high level shit. So we almost done with the video. We got through one page of notes. We're going to deal with this last page of notes and we're going to get on out of here. So when a person is sexually aroused, I dealt with that. They release these hormones known as endorphins. Okay, they're released into the bloodstream. This fluid can be used. Okay, so basically, let's deal with this again. They're talking about the male semen, right? Or they talking about the nectar that comes from between the woman's legs. You sisters that be creaming, y'all know that cream? We call it nectar. The male semen and the woman nectar can be used. We're dealing with pure sex magic right here. Can be used to anoint and magically charge any type of talismans you have. Say for example, I got something in my house. I got a witch wine, whatever y'all have. You can use that to magically charge it. Okay, that's what most spiritual people do. But also, if they may directly be swallowed, or watch this. This is powerful right here. This is powerful. We're dealing with semen and we're dealing with nectar. They may be directly swallowed and mixed with wine or drunk or mixed into a drink or mixed into a dough. What? Hold up. Mixed into a dough and baked for later consumption. This receipt, the Telemites would use this to make what's called cakes of light. You ever heard of cakes of light? So the Telemites, what they would do was they would take their lovers' energy, sexual fluid, and bake it in a cake and lay it on that night. When I'm eating my red beans and rice, let me go get this bay made cornbread. You understand me? We gonna mix that. You understand me? This is my girl. This is her energy. I'm gonna make me a cake with that, and I want nobody eating that cake. This is the big. Let me get off this. Lord, you understand what I'm talking about? So the teachers of Chinese sexual alchemy have, okay, I see your family, have, and still are convinced of the negative effects of the loss of semen. Our ancestors, they say that the teachers of Chinese alchemy, you know where they got that from. They got it from the Moors. They got it from the people in Africa. The teachers were convinced of the negative effects, the negative and evil effects of the loss of semen. We almost done. I'm about to close the church. I ain't doing bad. 34 minutes. They say that when you lose the semen, it had negative effects. When you women are busting too much, when you playing with the girl too much, got that vibrator, when you busting too much, it has negative effects. You got to let that energy build up. You got to keep in that regenerative fluids. You got to keep in that argon energy. You got to keep in that. You can't just be out there busting and just doing what you want to do, ejaculating and masturbating. Negative effects. It says that they talk about the untimely deaths. They talk about the untimely deaths of the elderly because of this, because they've leaked out. They say the elders used to die. The elders used to die because they leaked out too much. Let me make sure I get this right. They leaked out too much generative fluids. Huh? Anybody? Anybody? They leaked out too much generative fluids and leaving them with no vital resistance against infection. No vital resistance against reflection. Anybody out there got a grandfather who died on top of your grandmother? No. Anybody hear the rumors about how people was dying on top of people having sex? Sometimes you a man, you bust one. They say when a man is coming, he got 1 foot in the grave and 1 foot out the grave. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Some of you sister, a real orgasm, you feel like you about to die. So if you feeling like that at the age in your 20s and your 30s and your 40s, imagine when you in your 60s and your 70s and your 80s and you bust one. You liable to catch a goddamn heart attack. They say that the elders, the elders, because they leaked out so much energy, generative fluids, it was leaving them without vital resistance to infection. This shit keeps infection out your body. Huh? We closing the church. We closing the church. The last thing I want to talk about in this video is what's called the 3 peaks. Tantra and Taoism talks about 3 peaks. When you're dealing with the 3 peaks talks about your mouth, your breast, your yoni, or your phallus, okay? Your yoni or your magic stick. So the 3 peaks is going to be your mouth, the breast, the magic stick, or the yoni. And we closing this video. This is the last thing. The highest is called the red lotus peak. The red lotus peak is your lips. Huh? And your lips give off a libation. Your lips, your mouth has a libation. We just finished talking about the spit, but we get ready to top it off. Its libation is called the jade spring. Oh, it comes from under the tongue. It is greatly beneficial to the man. When you kissing that woman, this that comes from under her, the jade spring, the woman, the man when he going down on you, you got the number 2 of the twin peaks is called the breast. Its libation. Now you sisters got to get this, because they tell melanated women when you go to the hospital, most women have some type of discharge that's coming from their nipples. But they tell you that you're not supposed to have a discharge that's coming from your nipples. Women don't even know my nipples leaking. My nipples hurting. I'm not pregnant. I got some type of secretion that's coming out my nipples. What's wrong with me? I got a discharge. My pH must be off. Your pH is not off. We closing the church. We almost done. Your pH is not off. You heighten. You right. Your nipples in their higher cells when they leaking. It says that the libation is like a white snow. It comes from the woman's nipples. It is white in color, sweet to taste, or maybe a little salty. That's why some men don't even know we be sucking a woman's breast and some stuff be coming out of her breast. We be like, what's that? Oh Lord, that's not supposed to be coming out there. She's not pregnant. But when a man understand, when he dealing with the mystery system of sex, when he understanding this, he realizes he got a good woman. Whoa! You want your woman who got that white snow that's coming from her nipples. It's white in color, sweet to taste, a little bit salty. Drinking it is not only beneficial to the man. Drinking it is not only beneficial to the man, but it also helps strengthens the woman's blood circulation, and it helps regulate her period. Somebody say, I hear you. Somebody type, I hear you. We almost done. So when you sucking your woman breast need to be sucked Monday, talking about thoroughly, Wednesday, and Friday, and probably Saturday if you mad. She need at least 3 or 4 days out the week when you just not trying to penetrate her, when you just sucking her titties. And I don't care if they fat, I don't care if they long, I don't care if she got nothing but a nipple and a dud. You have to relieve the tension off her breast because it regulates her period. We talking that shit tonight, we getting scholarship. It regulates her period. It get her blood to where her blood is flowing. A lot of men don't know that. You got men in the house. You so comfortable with her, you don't even suck her titties no more. Boy, you better go suck on them titties, boy. I hear you. I be trying to have my girl nipples so. I try to make that noise. She say, boy, what the hell is you doing? I'm trying to get them bitches so. I'm chewing on them a little bit. I ain't trying to get them so. Yes, I am. I want her. She like to leave them alone for 2 days. They get chewed on like the baby. You know how the baby be? You know, you got the bad baby and you trying to breastfeed him. He just doing all this shit. Better go work that woman breast. Because if you don't, somebody else will. Woman breast just sitting there, ain't been sucked on. Oh. So, with that, we dealt with the two of the Twin Peaks. I had to go on another book to deal with this Twin Peak thing again. And this is the last I got, and I'm closing the church. I want to deal with the 3 erotic kisses. This is the same exact process, but from a different book, from Tantra and Taoism. They say right here, Tantra recognizes 3 parts or 3 peaks of the body that releases a kind of energetic juice. So that juice that's coming out her nipples is energetic juice. The juice coming out your mouth is energetic juice. We almost done. 41 minutes. I did good. I ain't even hit an hour. The juice that's coming from down there is energetic juice. It's a nectar, which is extremely nourishing for the receiver. It is extremely, what's coming out here, and here is extremely nourishing for the receiver. It is vitalizing to the giver. For the giver is vitalizing. I can't wait to give it to you. I can't wait for you to come get this out me. I'm giving it to you. It's vitalizing. Oh Lord, please take it out. Get it out. Come on, baby. Work me. Get me together. But the receiver is like, Lord, I'm loving on this. We done. I'm closing the church. 41 minutes into it. I say 10 to 15 minutes. It's all like I left and we done. It's all left on my notes. The second peak, the nipples. That come out this book. This book disrespectful with the shit. This book right here, Tantra, The Art of Conscious Loving, is disrespectful. It said the nipples in the breast with their direct line to the heart chakra. So the nipples in the breast has a direct line to the heart chakra. That's why I need to be sucked on. It says that in a source of special nectar. See, you sisters insecure when the doctor telling you you leaking from your breast and wrong, you know you're not. It's a source of special nectar. And both lovers can consciously give and receive breast delicate secretions. Oh, you ain't know that the man had breast nut too? I know this tantra shit get uncomfortable sometimes, but I got to deal with it. I got to bring it out to the world. I got to let you know. That's why some men like they breast sucked. And you trying to figure out why he like his nipple sucked. Can you suck my nipples, babe? You sucking his nipple, it goes to his heart. And oh Lord, wait, babe. See, they talk. See, when I was young, I was like a man getting his nipple sucked. I said, that shit gay, that shit homo. Man, see, about 9 months ago, I was at the pool one time. I'm telling a lie. I'm a shine, man. I'm lying right now. I'm lying. Let me tell a lie. I was at the pool one time. I'm sitting out there, I'm drinking, having a good time. You know, I got my Dionysus cup, drinking my cranberry juice. I'm sitting at the pool, and this girl come up and just suck my nipple. And I jumped back. Lord, what was that? That shit did something to me. I said, look, I'm gonna leave y'all alone. Boy, let me get out of here. We about to end the video. A special nectar. Both lovers can give it, which may be very lightly milky substance, or a slightly sweet and salty precipitation. We done with the video. Not all males or females, whatever that was talking about, but we done with the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We was talking about the Twin Peaks, the books we went to today. We dealt with Tantra, The Art of Conscious Loving. We dealt with holistic sexuality. We dealt with ecstasy through Tantra. We dealt with the love of Teo. See, we dealing with scholarship. We dealt with modern sex magic. We dealt with the white tigress. We dealt with the heart of tantric sex. In 44 minutes, we dealt with Tantra, the way, the way of action. We dealt with the tantric secrets for men. We got in all these books in 44 minutes. Family, make sure you subscribe to my page. The reason I'm doing YouTube videos now is because I was putting way too much information on Facebook. I feel like I've outgrown Facebook. Now with these YouTube videos, you can copy them, paste them, send them to your friends in their inboxes. You can send them to people's phones. Everybody's not necessarily dealing with Facebook and Instagram anymore. So we then moved over here to deal with, so that I can get directly to you. So if you're not dealing with Facebook, we can do the YouTube thing and kill it. So the next video I'm dealing with, and I'm going to be more consistent with these videos. The ancestors got on me. The next video I'm dealing with is going to probably be out Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. The topic of that video is going to be their Sabbath. I dealt with sex. Now I want to, I deal with magic. I'm an occultist. I'm from New Orleans. The next video is going to be titled Their Sabbath. And we're going to go in and deal with what they do on the Sabbaths. The full moons, Mercury retrograde, the blood moons, Halloween, what they do on their Sabbaths. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe to the boy. I'm getting ready to bring pure scholarship in everything that I do. I want to go back to the ancient texts. I want to go back and let y'all know where I'm getting this information from. And we're rocking and rolling. So, as they would say, shout out to Bobby Hemmett once again. Shout out to Dr. Blair. Shout out to Dr. Clark. I say